What's going on, everyone? First, I want to thank you for watching, and if you haven't already, please remember to subscribe to my channel. In this series, we're going to talk about things I'm working on in my golf game, in my golf swing, and trying to be more efficient, and I hope that you can use this as a way for you to look at your golf swing, see what's working, what's not, and how you can make yourself more efficient in this game. So let's get started. One of the first things I look at with everyone is setup. It's something I worked on a lot over the last couple months. And the goal with setup is to get the balls of feet, kneecaps, back of armpits in a straight line. I do that very well, but I've worked hard on it. You've seen some videos of me posting about setup. It's the foundation of the golf swing. So if I have a poor setup and I have my hips or my back or really anything in a wrong position, I limit my ability to move. So that's one of the first things we look for. One of the faults I've had over the last couple months, and really a couple of years, is my swing starts out and I get inside quickly. So you'll see the swing is a little inside. And when that happens, I open the club face up. So now the club head is behind my hands a little bit. My right forearm has gone into supination, which basically means it rotates away from my body, which opens the club face. And when that happens, you'll see I don't turn as much, and I tend to lift the club up pretty quickly, and that club face just stays open all the way up top. So one thing we look for when the club is up top is this club head that you see right there. I need to see on the right side of the shaft looking down. So clearly that club face is wide open. When that happens, it becomes about timing, and that's something I'm not a fan of. So yes, when you're on, but if you take some time off from golf and your timing goes, you'd start to develop a two-way miss. And as you all know, two-way misses are no fun. So that's a couple things I've been working on. You'll see in the future videos here. My main focus on the backswing is to, one, obviously turn more, and I'll pop up some numbers to show you where I was at, and also to control that club face. I think if I can do those two things, I'll become more consistent in my ball striking and more efficient. So now we're going to go over to the face-on view just to show you what that looks like on the backswing. Okay, so now you have the face-on view. A couple things that I look for when looking at a student or even myself face-on is, one, where's the golf club? So when I have an iron in my hand, we kind of create this like Y. It's kind of a bad drawing, but we create this letter Y at setup. Depending on the iron that I have, maybe my Y turns into a lowercase, and we go from there. Also, ball position. One thing about me, and I've always done this as a player, is I play everything forward in my stance as a baseline, and then if I want to hit it lower, I move it back, or depending on the shot that I'm looking to hit, I'll move it around. But I tend to keep the golf ball in the same spot, no matter the golf club, which might be unique, but it's something that I've always done and I'm comfortable with. So typically it's an inch or two off my left heel, and it might adjust, half an inch or so, depending on what's going on. But ball position is something I look for all the time. And then from this view, we really look at the pivot. So if I was to draw a line going up the right side, I want to see myself create a golf ball size space with my right hip in that line. We see a lot of players who struggle move over the line, which would be sliding, and that tells me that you are not rotating. And there's many reasons why we don't rotate. It could be a body issue. It could be the not understanding how to rotate properly. And usually once you kind of gain an understanding, you can do it fairly well. But there definitely could be some limitations in your body that could cause you not to rotate. And it could be surprising where those limitations are that are creating that. So in future videos, we'll definitely have some tests to kind of see what's going on with your body and how we can get you in a position to be more efficient in really anything in your golf swing. But so one of the things is not a lot of hip rotation here. I mean, I'm creating that ball space, but the numbers are popping up, and you'll see that I'm about 70 degrees of shoulder turn, and my hips are at about 30, I think it's like 35, but you'll see the numbers pop up. So that's another focus that I'll have in the backswing, is just creating more rotation, and which will help with that club face as well. So I hope you guys enjoy this part of this episode, and the next videos you'll see is the drills that I'm working on to capture those things and working on the club face. So we talked about the 3 faults: the club working too far inside on the way back, the club head opening up on the way back, and then the lack of rotation in the backswing. Some of those kind of go hand in hand. So what I did here is I have a ball in my forearms. It's a ball that I just bought from Five and Below. I think it was like $2.99, so it's perfect to use. And there's a couple things it makes me do. So the first thing it does is it forces me to turn, because it makes me keep my arms straight longer throughout the golf swing. I don't have the ability to cock my wrists, bend my elbows, which then can limit turn, and then which now the club starts moving in places we don't want it. So that's the first thing it does. And you'll see right off the bat here, it keeps the club out in front of me because it forces me to start turning more. It then starts to keep the club face square, because now it doesn't allow me to rotate my right forearm away from my body into supination. So now it makes me keep pressure between my forearms so the club face stays square, and I can get the club and start working up. And you'll see up top, the club head is now square and on the right side of the shaft. So you'll see me kind of walk through this a little bit. Let's go back to the beginning. I'll make a couple rehearsals because I'm trying to develop a feeling, and then I will strike a golf ball with that in there. And I'm really not looking to hit it too far. I believe this was a 7-iron, and I was probably hitting it about 140 yards. A stock 7-iron for me is typically about 190. So I'm really only hitting it maybe 60%, if that, maybe a little more, 70-ish percent, because I'm really just trying to get a feeling. And what I do throughout this session is after each shot, I kind of think about, all right, what is happening? What did I feel? What did it look like maybe? And how was contact? Because at the end of the day, contact is everything. So just trying to gauge a feeling of what it all feels like. You'll see I make these rehearsals, and then I'll hit a ball. I'll do about 10 of these, and then I will switch to not having that ball in, because at the end of the day, we need to swing without any training aids. So I'll hit a few, switch to not having it in, hit a few, and then go back to the training aid. That's something that I've always done, and it just helps me capture what I'm trying to achieve here. So we'll see one more. That club face was really good. So as you can see, those 3 faults that I had, it's not going to happen overnight, so it's something every day I make golf swings. I either use a club, use that same setup, or just make swings without a ball or without a club, just to kind of get that mental image in my head of what it needs to look like. I hope this backswing episode has helped all of you, and maybe can help you kind of look at your golf swing and what you can do to fix it. The next video that we will have, we'll talk about the transition and the importance and the sequence of moves that need to happen in order for us to achieve what we want to achieve and be efficient. Remember to like and comment below if you have any questions. And also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Our goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2022. And with all your help, we can do that. Thanks.